Hello. Welcome back to Sunless Sea. Let's go and dive. Here? What about here? Oh, okay, here? I guess there's too many blockages down there for me to dive. Because, yeah. Well, what's this? This is a big one. Is this a big one? Ship of Answers. It is a big one. The wreck has fallen into a crevice in the seabed. It lies embraced by the stones. I can't do anything here. I need to go to Scrimshander first. I can board the wreck though. The ship is silent as its watery grave. You have to enter to uncover its secrets, yes? You don your diving gear. The hull door opens with a disquieting crunch. A crewman stops to pick bits of skull from his boot. Inside the wreck, bones haunt every surface. Each bone has been split and hollowed out, so that both inside and out could be inscribed. Some of the bones are dated, the first in each skeleton. It appears the crew were chosen for scrivening one at a time. There is something legible on the right, ulnar of an otherwise unmarked skeleton, Scrimshander. Interesting. I haven't found where Scrimshander is though. But let's go. What the heck's that? This is an unpleasant texture that I don't like. Okay, I'm near the Utter room. I know I have a quest there, but let's go here, I think? The prickly thing that we saw earlier. Okay, something shiny here. It's a beloved! You look kind of nice, but I'm still killing you. I know you seem harmless. We sent the first one to the gun pole. Let's dissect it for knowledge this time. Your bellies can't wait. A job half done, and there I was, hoping you'd found me a challenge. The surgeon sighs, setting aside a cleaver and reaching for the pliers instead. The beloved's underside is a network of old and overlaid scars, as though it has been disassembled and stitched together over and over. The thing is more patchwork than creature. Who or what could have had the power to put it back together and send it on its way? Who indeed? Got hunting trophies, I see. So are they called beloved because they are beloved creatures that's been put back together? Where is my logic? I am not sure. Long way to the east, you say. Says here. But there's something here too. It's a bomb? Do you explode? There's a lot of glowing things here. Do you explode? Oh! It does. Oops. Oops. Oops, oops. This is Aigul. Okay. Oops, oops. Okay, let's go into Aigul dock. The station is pinned to the surface of Aigul. Once it was a roving vessel, the Fortas kettle, and floated freely from place to place. Now it is stuck on spines of fluke rock. Oh, this is flute rock. I can look for the fierce philanthropist husband. 45% chance. Sure. No luck. He has not. At least you can cross this port off your list. On to the next. Okay. Let me see. Let's assemble a port report. The Admiralty would find this a curious place, indeed. Loose information. You gather a description of the Fortas kettle and a survey of its resources. You scrape away a little of the sealant, the color of amber and the texture of wax. That keeps out seawater where the hull is pierced by the spines of Aigul. You sketch the arrangement of decks and hatches, so far as you have been able to reach, but about the population, you cannot offer as much detail. The tomb colonist declines to be identified and the travelling postman laughs at you. Okay. What's this? Acquaintance with the first mate. I could bribe the first mate with Soleil's fruit. The crew can't show you around. The first mate keeps the hatch keys. They rarely leave the engine room, but they'll come out for Soleil's fruit. Gratefully received. The first mate's features are softer than the average Londoner's, as though they have become part rubbery man. Their skin is marked in dozens of places with shiny, calcified ovals, around which the skin is reddened. What's happening to you? You offered them the Soleil's fruit and they received it reverently. They don't eat it in front of you, but withdraw through a hatch that is usually kept locked. They are gone a long time, and far off you hear a man's deep laughter. It is a surprising sound in the whispering ship. At last the first mate returns, fingers stained. Okay. I've now won Aigul first mate's sensitivity. I can observe the first mate in research. The kettle was a research vessel. Now the first mate sometimes engages in research on the fluke spines that pierce the ship. A gathering of silver in the storeroom. This room is blocked by a thick spine at waist level. The spine is purple-black, but the crew have been working at it with planes, grinding away a silvery powder. The powder is collected on mats and sieved into bottles. Our export, the first mate explains. It goes to Station 3, but that is not what we've come for. The first mate touches the spine, and for a time their spirit is absent. Then, from one of their few patches of unmarked skin, they grow a needle-shaped protrusion and snap it free. A memento of what I saw when my mind was with Aigul. What is happening to you? I now have one Aigul needle of Fortas. Okay. I can consume a needle of Fortas. I could consume 3 needles of Fortas. Why not, right? This is Untersea. Press the spike into your own flesh. Know what it knows. Little worse than a tattoo, surely. Memories layered with memories. You remember a woman who had persuaded herself into a marriage. She never fell in love with someone else, or betrayed her husband, or did any of the usual things. She lived a dusty life, and wondered whether she even had any appetites to satisfy. Faintly overlying this is the first mate's reaction: pity, annoyance, and a tangle of feelings about a different broken relationship between themselves and the wounded captain. Okay. So I've still no idea what's happening. Oh, we could do this. Ask the first mate for help finding the regret of the sensitive brother. The Imperious sister awaits an answer. She has set a rendezvous at Hunter's Keep. This is the quest we got from Mount Palmerston. Into the Fortas kettle. The first mate leads you through hatches usually kept locked, down to the depths of the Fortas kettle. They begin to limp more evidently the further you descend. At last, you come to the engine room where a spike of Aigul jabs through the hull. The engine is thoroughly destroyed. Its furnace is cold. Its great wheels will never turn again. The surface of Aigul is exposed to your touch. It shimmers. We make it beautiful on purpose. There is shiny silver patch on the spike. We allow the silver to be harvested. Touch it with one hand. Touch our face. Surface. You are no longer standing in the engine room. The tunnel is skin tight. You descend face first. The wall presses the back of your head, urging you downward. You should not have come. The entry point of Aigul is regret. No one enters Aigul without. Oh. I could surface. I could descend. This feels like someone is pushing me down into water, isn't it? But we're falling down into like memory or regrets. So what the spikes do is that they contain people's emotion and feelings and memories, I think. Is that what all lawn flukes are? The spikes are just the memories and feelings of people? I have no idea. But that's one theory. But we shall descend. Aigul is made of needles. The inside of a needle is straight. Sharp, thirsty, dry. There is a scent of green, bitter things, of fermentation. Cactus pulp renders an acceptable wine. Someone once died in the desert and you are traversing the cause of their death. They lived long enough to regret. Here is the memory of a dying man seeing a vulture overhead. The sky. Okay. Begun drilling for regret. The tunnel branches. We tell you which way to go, but you do not understand. I failed. Oh no. Fluke regrets. The skin of the tunnel is rubbery. The rubbery men do not do what they are supposed to do. We try to improve them. Among humans, they are sad. We should have made them with more teeth. Oh no. Among flukes, they disobey. We should pierce them with more spines. The passage circles on itself. It leaves you back where you began, but older. Time does not stop. Okay. Let's do it again. Yes. Deeper, you narrow your shoulders, press your toes and your knuckles into the tunnel wall. Squeeze left and down through a passage lined in fragments of amber. They gather what we wish to know. Here is the smell of a cloying perfume. A woman left her husband for a scoundrel. In a few years, she was poor and alone. He seemed like a good man. How could I have known? Of course she knew. Her husband offered to take her back, but she could not endure his forgiveness. We have his regrets also. He minded her absence much more than her unfaithfulness, but he could not persuade her. Oh no. Let's descend some more, but only if you feel strong. From here, you cannot surface until you have found what you seek. Let's go. I failed. Forward? Do you want to die down here in the dark? Death is not the thing to fear. Do you want to live down here, squeezed between one misery and the next, so that you can barely move your limbs? We prefer it. Has your nerve failed you? You have not moved. Let's try it again. Okay, failed. Third time's charm. Failed again. Fourth. No. Fifth. Sixth. Yes. You intend to move and the tunnel moves you. A fresh red memory. She stood still when she wished to go. She answered questions from the man with the knife-shaped smile. She was afraid of him, of course. She pretended his questions were questions a sociable person would ask. She was more afraid of being discourteous. He did not kill her after she was angry at herself anyhow for having her fears out of order. She had a new tongue installed in her mouth. In the presence of trespasser, the new tongue says, I dislike you, I fear you, I wish you would go, whether she bids it to or not. Halfway through drilling for regret. I have many questions, but sure, only forward exists. Do you regret continuing? It is too late. Oh, 60%. I succeeded. Night regrets. A recollection the length of a hatpin. It would have been a baby. Okay. I can collect what you came for. Will you be pierced by the brother's regrets? Or note the regret but leave it where it lies? It is guarded by nacreous layers. This is not for you to take. I need to finish the quest. I will collect what I came for. The secretive brother was a clerk at the Admiralty. One can regret even clerical misdeeds. He fell behind in his filing, so he burned a stack of port reports and lied when his superior asked where they were. The lie went undetected. The loss of the reports caused no great trouble. Nonetheless, the regret rankled. The brother had learned integrity from schoolboy novels. Confession offered no cure. It would not retrieve the reports. It would only disappoint the superior and open the whole department to censure. Sometimes cowardice and common sense lead to the same end. The brother's regret caused more trouble than the deed. We cured him. Have you undone the cure? Get out. You've done enough. That's your regret? I guess everyone has different forms of regret. But this doesn't seem like a severe enough regret compared to others that I've read so far anyway. Okay, I'm back here. Ponder how best to deliver your message to the Imperious sister. She should know what you have decided. I can grow the brother's regret into a spine. It is possible, given certain robbery rituals and preparations, the first mate can show you how. What should I do? Let's try this. Ponder how best to deliver your message to the Imperious sister. She should know what you have decided. There are ways to reach her. She said she'd wait for you at Hunter's Keep. She'll want some kind of proof of her brother's regret. Your words alone will not do. You could go there directly and give whatever message you think best. Or you could send her a dream by the way of Irem. You've heard they make dreams there. Perhaps there is a way by the Isle of Cats. Not that that would be an easy or sensible method. I could... If we grow it into a spine, when she touches it, it will be like when I consume the needle. It is possible, given certain robbery rituals and preparations, the first mate can show you how. You grow a spine just next to your thumb. It is challenging to clip off, but you manage, and then file down the spur. There is a little blood and some itching, and the spot remains sensitive. Oh, that sounds unpleasant. I could share the brother's regret with the first mate. They are curious. Sharing the spine would relinquish one means of delivering the regret to the sister, but there are other ways. Maybe not. I will deliver the spine to the sister. We can do one more thing here. We can either dine with the crew or observe the first mate with the pilgrim. Let's dine with the crew this time. We'll do this next time. There are few people aboard the Fortas kettle and guests provide variety. The captain and the first mate are absent. The crew gather and tell stories of when the Fortas kettle was still free to roam the seafloor. The captain was a jolly man, fond of a drink, who laughed at icebergs. The first mate was everyone's confidant. The two were meant to be married, even when they got back to London, but Aigul called imperiously, and the first mate drove the kettle full throttle onto the spines. Oh, it's the first mate's fault. After the meal, the first mate returns from their latest exploration in the engine room. The tomb colonist rises with a sigh. It'll be time to rebandage the captain, then. Oh, the captain is a tomb colonist? Now I have a needle for task. Okay. I think that's all for now. Introduce a ptarmigan to Aigul. Wouldn't the spikes of Aigul look friendlier with a bit of mushroom foliage? Sure, I don't think I need it anymore. A blasted land. You try to release the ptarmigan by airlock onto the spiny surface of Aigul. Its determination is fierce and it tries gamely to climb down a spine. Almost at once it begins to shrivel and shrink in on itself, its shroomy flesh blackening and then coming away in ragged strips. It cannot take hold in this waste space. But the sacrifice was not wholly without effect. The first mate says later that Aigul has been made just a little gentler, and when someone communes with the secrets of Aigul, he brings away more discoveries. Ah, I now have another first mate's sensitivity. Okay, I lost the ptarmigan, but I will take that. And with that, I think this is all I could do here. So I shall go. And I think we've done quite a lot, even though we did not go very far. So I think it's time we head back. Let's at least go to this area and see if there's any islands here. We'll discover them, but we'll not go in them. We'll go to Utter's room to hand in those things we got from Rack. We go restock in Iron Republic and we'll head back to Fallen London. Okay, that's the plan. What's that? What's over here? What is that? Crab carcass. A rigid claw rises from the seabed. A colossal crab lies half buried in the sand. It is only recently dead. Succulent flesh nestled in the brittle shell. I can harvest meat for supplies. Sharpen the flensing knives. 77%. Sure, I might lose crew, I'm guessing. I've lost one crew, oh well. I failed. You are not alone. You lead a small complement of your crew out into the gloom. You work swiftly, shattering the claw and twisting the white meat from underneath. As your crew set to the shell with hammers, one crewman raps out an alarm. The exposed flesh squirms. It explodes with worms. They curl about the crewman. A fresh carcass joins the old. Oh. Ew. Okay, so it's filled with parasites already. And they killed me. They killed my crewman. Inedible. Oh, what is this? A boundling. Oh, fuck. I'm caught in the current. No. No. 18 damage. No. Go away. Okay, there it goes. Ooh. Its corpse is a mound of twisted metal and flesh. Its mottled skin further marred by the gaping rents inflicted by your weapons. I can tear the cage from the foundling or carve the boundling up for provisions. Let's tear the cage from the boundling. The metal is strong and sturdy. You have a need for it, okay? A merciful end? Removing the cage is back-breaking work. Rods of steel run through the boundling's inflamed, swollen flesh. Its body had warped to fit its cage. Even its red eyes are distorted, pulled out of alignment by the band across its face. Before carrying the reclaimed metal away, your engineer wipes frothy slime off it. She gestures to a stain. It will take a bloody good sanding to get rid of this. Ah. Wait. Frothy slime? Are you happy? So happy that... I will not finish that sentence. But this is fine. This is fine. Okay, I did notice I'm very low with feel right now. So I should head straight to Ottershroom from here and then straight to the Iron Republic. No more exploring. Or else I'll die again. I only need to make it to the Iron Republic. Okay? Okay. What the fuck is that? Okay, no exploring, as I said. No exploring. We're back at the Ottershroom soon. Oh no, Mr. Sachs! I forgot, totally forgot. I needed to go to the Isle of Cats. Next voyage. I'll head straight over there next voyage. Okay. I can consume the jar full of tether or give the severe chemist the jar full of tether. Options, huh? Brought all the way from Rack, the chemist promised you a handsome reward. He smiles at you over his teacup. He does not drink. I commend you. Several other interesting adventurers wilted and died before you in this endeavor. He hands you a check, drains his cup in a gulp, and is soon on his own ship. A satisfied client, I got 1,250 echoes. Holy shit. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, let's visit the village since we're here. Gain 1 memory of distant shores. Okay, now let's go straight to the Iron Republic. Oh wait, I can do the other thing as well. Fund a Tittering Artificers project. Nearly ready, yes, nearly ready. I need more. You can have the prototype when it's done. Take it. Kill with it. I want to see what damage you can do. Ammunition will be difficult. It will cost you so much. So much. But the weapon, oh! The weapon. This is a forward-mounted weapon with unusual characteristics. Icarus in black. It is done! The flesh is not important, you see. It's the passion. The lessons, the spirit forged like a spear, all the spears into the hearts of monsters. Did I mention I don't like monsters? Monsters, kill them for me with my weapon. Go forth and crack Mount Nomad. Yes. Is this a quest? Is this a quest or are you just saying stuff? I have now Icarus in black. Yep. I could do it again. What is it? This desperate, demented device inflicts apocalyptic damage on even the greatest Z-beast. But it fires only one thing, monster hunters. You may find them in the Chalonate and Khan's Shadow and occasionally elsewhere. It costs 1 Doom Hunter monster per use. Oh, that's why you say it's a terrible weapon, because you literally shoot people out of the gun onto monsters. Okay. I seem to remember that Doom monster hunters are freaking expensive as well. Okay. I don't know what to do with this, but we'll figure out eventually. But let's head back to London first. A silent wreck and crusted protrusions of coral fix the wreck's anchor to the seabed. The bow has shattered on the rocks. The anchor chain groans in the current. I can enter the wreck or leave well enough alone. Let's enter. Judging by the progress of the decay and its outmoded plating, this ship has lain here since soon after London's fall. This may not be wise. You don your diving suit. Your airline is extended to enable a thorough exploration. As you pick your way across the seabed to the wreck, you notice a weak light shining from within the ruptured bow. It illuminates a shoal of fish scuttling around and away from the wreck. The cargo hold is yawning wide, offering easy entrance. Your bosun is to remain outside while the rest of you go in. She will sound the time in sevens. Be out in 40 minutes, she warns. After 7, the fear sets in. Twice that, the hallucinations. Thrice that, you go dark. No coming back. Okay. I'm inside the wreck. The wreck groans as it resists the current. Footsteps come from above and below. Your crew just ahead, surely. You can enter the boiler room or enter the cargo hold. The crew's final meals came from here. 67%. I succeeded, yes. Seaweed coats old cask of wine like lobelia on a grave. The supply crates have been broken open and left empty. Your navigator passes by ahead. Okay. We can go further. The ship shudders. Something large must have passed by. Go deeper. 67%. I succeeded again. You press on through the murk. An old lantern crashes down an iron stairwell. Your foot must have caught it as you turn a corner. You follow it down and find yourself on an unfamiliar deck. I can explore the cabins or enter the stateroom. 67 and 66, that's quite close. Let's do the cabins. The crew slept on this deck. I succeeded. There are chains across the beds, though no bodies lie beneath them. Every cabin is the same, every bed burdened with chains, every room otherwise bereft of the accoutrements of the living. Let's go further. The ship shudders. Something large must have passed by. Go deeper. Okay. Enter the engine room. The walls are gouged and scorched. You hear your bosun toll the bell. 66%. I succeeded. Okay, this is very good luck. The engine is charred as though burnt from within. Pages from a waterlogged journal float forlornly by. A name catches your attention. This ship's navigator had the same name as yours. Across the observation deck, it is almost broken in two, half tilted almost vertically. Support beams and long cables chain the wreck's halves together. 77%. I failed. You slowly swing a beam across the gap. It has lasted this long. It should take you crawling across it. Below, the ship lies open like a discarded muscle. Jagged metal and rock awaits. The beam rocks. A crewman is behind you. Metal groans. The ceiling falls. you lose sight of your companion. Oh no. That's... okay. I can enter the bridge or swim onto the deck. Let's swim onto the deck. Something swam upwards before you. You hear your bosun's bell ring out. You're alone on the canted deck, dragging yourself upwards. There are fragments of paper in the water. A woman in long skirts walks before you, untroubled and upwards, her feet on the deck. What? I'm a little bit wary because I have not scum saved. So let's go for a way out. There. A steel ladder shines in your lamplight. Was it always half wrenched from the wall? Do you care? The cargo hold is just below. The ladder cannot take your weight. It hangs loose from the wall. You float down to the ship bottom, where those crew you brought with you wait. They acknowledge your return but offer nothing. The groaning of the wreck accompanies your return to your sub. Oh well. Can I still come here again? Or is this a one-time thing? I think it's a one-time thing. We'll try again when we find other wrecks. Okay? Next time. Next time. And also Mr. Sachs next time. What's here? Oh, is this another one? This looks a bit different. Such a London wreck. This stately, shattered vessel is of familiar manufacture. Your lights illuminate a tattered Admiralty flag, shivering forlornly in the current. I succeeded in the Pages challenge. Don your diving gear. The wreck groans as you pull yourself through its corridors. Your airline catches briefly as you negotiate the stairs to the captain's cabin. You unhook it and ascend. Inside is a locked steel box. Back in your submarine, you prise it open. It contains a handful of interesting papers and a journal logging with ships visiting the Grand Geode. The word compromise is written next to each one. Ooh. Intriguing snippets, Okay, that's it. Okay, we're near London. We're right outside London. Let's go up. And while we're at it, I think we should do one last thing and go to Hunter's Keep before we end our day's voyage. Finish that quest for the Imperious sister. Memories. Not good. Okay, let's dock. Deliver her brother's regret in needle form. She offers a smooth wrist and does not flinch. Only this? Afterward, she rubs her wrist. I was certain he had fathered a devilish child. I had steeled myself to meet the yellow-eyed creature and offer it a respectable home. But this... He kept sleepless watches over a pile of burnt paperwork? In a half-wondering voice, she adds, he is right. The secret has made me think the less of him. What a wormy little man, my brother. She straightens her gloves and walks away. Is that all? Is that all? Is that all? Okay, let's recon the island and let's... Our terror is pretty high, so let's have luncheon with Lucy. Nice. And let's give them news, why not? Knock and wait. You ask the sulphur's eye maid to carry a few hints of your news to the sisters. Oddly enough, she comes back with a message that their headaches are cured and you're invited to lunch. Oh. Let's talk with Phoebe this time. Okay. That's it. Wait. Hunters keep in darkness. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like 100 other undersea islands. A grand house rises on the rock, a silhouette empty of lights. The uncut grass on the lawns bends, rises, bends again in the breeze. You smell damp stone and faintly blood. What happened? Go up to the house. Crunch across the gravel up to the door. The brass of the door knocker is tarnished. The paint is beginning to peel into the salt sea air. No one answers, but the door is unlocked. Words in darkness. The hall is dark, the parlor too. There are signs of disturbance here and there. A smashed cup, an overturned piano stool, scratches on the walls. You bend to pick up a page of paper and hold it to the light. It's an unfinished poem. You think the handwriting may be Phoebe's, the absent moon, the gnawing hunger in the heart, the well, the sea, a great many crossings out. There are sounds from downstairs, from the kitchen. You push open the door cautiously. Something clings to the ceiling. Something turns yellow eyes to you and hisses, "Oh." Okay, something somewhere has changed. Oh. The thing in the kitchen. The yellow-eyed maid clings to the ceiling like a lizard, fierce and wiry in her ragged uniform. She hisses furiously. When you advance a step, she scurries away to the far end of the room, still on the ceiling, weeping. I can catch her with a net or coax her down. Let's try the gentler method, coax her down. Whoever and whatever she is suffering. Down she comes. You try to question her. "Those poor sailors," she spits. You realize that in all the time you spent at Hunter's Keep, she had never spoken. "The poor sailors! I didn't come here for this. Damn them to the well." She finished the meat. She returns to the ceiling in a single inhuman bound. I've lost one supplies. Okay. Okay, because I gave her meat to coax her down. Okay. What about the silent house? The house seems empty, all is still. Why then? Do you have the sense that there's not much time remaining? I'm not gonna loot the house. Let's search the house. Discover whatever you can about what happened here. A distant song. You cock your head and listen. Someone is singing. A woman's voice. Soft o'er the fountain. Lingering falls the southern moon. The song takes you up the winding stairs to the turret at the back of the house. You try the door at the top. Locked. The sound ceases. It was Phoebe's voice. You call out to her. What's happened? "We wanted their stories," she explains reasonably. "We only wanted their stories in the beginning. We get so starved for stories out here. But then Lucy, Lucy," she breaks down in sobbing. "Want us to break down the door?" your bosun whispers. While you're considering the answers, one of your crew swears and points. Smoke is leaking from beneath the door. "I deserve an ending," Phoebe calls out. When you press your hand to the door, you can feel the heat on your palms. She set herself on fire? Or at least the room. The house on Hunter's Keep is aflame. Oh shit. Phoebe the arsonist. The fire begins in Phoebe's turret room, but it spreads quickly. Sailors tumble, choking from the door as the smoke billows out. The yellow-eyed maid leaps from a window and streaks across the lawn on all fours. I can save Phoebe. Her mind may be lost to grief and madness, but at least perhaps you can save her flesh from the flames. Yes. A desperate rescue. A bucket chain passes up water from the sea, enough to slow the flames a fraction, and to soak the clothes you wrap yourself in. You dash through the flames, your skin crisping, eyebrows sizzling. Your hair grows back patchy afterward. Phoebe is slumped against the wall. You seize her, Sling her over a shoulder, dash out. The spine of the house breaks with a roar as the roof falls in. Sparks fly up towards the fall stars so far above. The death of the house takes hours, but it is total. Only a cindered shell remains. Phoebe weeps when she wakes, racking sobs that shake her body. "You should have left me," is all that she will say for the longest time. Her face is horribly burned. She goes bandaged after, like the half-dead of the tomb colonies. Perhaps she is half-dead herself. It can be difficult to tell underneath. Okay, I lost one crew. Now I want the scarred sister. The house on Hunter's Keep is a blackened shell. Oh. I now have one port report keeps in. Oh no. I think that's it. Hunter's Keep in ruins. The lawns are weedy meadows walked by the wind. The gravel paths have sunk to mud. The house is a jumble of charred stones and timbers. Can peek over the ruins of the great house. Fungus and caven vines are already reclaiming the masonry. Peace in the ruins. No one has come to reclaim Hunter's Keep, despite its proximity to London. The place has an eerie reputation. It's difficult to see why today. The place is as peaceful as a folly in a park. The air is still. Far across the water, the lights of London glow. That's sad. I think that's all we could do here. Let's go back to London. I knew that was going to happen. Although it happened a lot later than I thought it will. Still sad though. Still one of the sadder stories. I'm back in London. Okay, first we're going to the Admiral, and we're going to give him the new port reports. Like Hunter's Keep's End. Open shock. This is ghastly news. The poor girls. We had warned them that they weren't safe, but it had been so long. I thought, well, it's done, thank you. I will have to look into the matter of a supply post. And then where else? Aigul. Station 6. One hears strange stories. Aigul is Station 6. Okay. And then there's Low Barnet. Yes. The congregation that worships stories. What did they tell you? Where else? Rack. What can you tell us of those wretches? Okay, that's all you're gonna say. Okay, that's it.